Somebody said we ought to start the podcast with hot tour. It said, "Welcome, good morning, Earthlings and locally hated truckers." I'm Chuck, and that's John, the world's youngest Gen Xer. What's up, John?
What's going on, man? You having a good day today, Chucker?
Man, we're just going to jump right into it because we are recording late.
We are.
And I'm already dressed for work. John's been at Six Flags.
Yep.
And we went into the weekend when we talked Thursday night. We didn't have a show.
No, we had nothing.
We were like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We were like almost not going to record because you was going to Six Flags and it was like, there's nothing to talk about.
Well, yeah, and I didn't decide we were going to Six Flags until like Friday.
Yeah,
we didn't even really have that.
You kind of talking about it a little bit, but
yeah.
But this is episode 150, and if I sound kind of echoey, it's because I am.
Yeah, you sound fine to me. Hopefully, you sound fine to the listeners.
How's that sound? Does that sound any better?
Doesn't sound really any different through this recording.
Yeah. Look, we're just gonna let the music play. If it ends up not making any money on YouTube, oh well, it don't ever make any money on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not worried about all that.
We're not worried about it. So it's episode 150. We're gonna hit some Southern rock because that's what this show's got a lot of Southern rock in it.
Amen.
We're gonna hit some not so Southern rock, but some guy that was influenced by a lot of Southern rock.
Yep.
John preached again, and he went to Six Flags. And I got an interesting conspiracy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
An interesting.
So let's jump right in.
We've got a big show here, man.
Saturday night, we went to the Corey Smith concert. Do you know who Corey Smith is?
I've heard of him before. Yeah, I've heard some of his tunes. Yeah.
He's probably one of the reasons why me and Mary Beth are together.
Wow.
According to her, I played her his song "Something to Lose" on our first date. I thought it was our second one, but that's to be determined. I'll just go with her memory.
Sure. She remembers best.
She remembers. She can't remember anything, dude. But anyway, that was like a long time ago. That was 2006 or 6 or 7.
I was class of 06, man.
So I was getting married the second time. Working on getting married the second time when you just had graduated.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an awesome concert.
Corey
go check
Smith.
him out. Corey Smith. Go check him out on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music.
Dude, I got to say this because it's so funny. When you originally texted me and told me you were going to Corey Smith, my immediate reaction, I thought you were saying you were going to Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot. I thought he was coming to the Fayetteville Amphitheater, and I was like stoked. I was like, no,
he could have.
He could have.
A local band, Pearl Bottom Radio, they opened for him. It was pretty cool. I saw.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ran into one of our coworkers.
Oh, which one? Which one? Who do we get to shout out today?
It was Lance.
Lance, what's up, Lance? Shout out Lance
to the show.
Lance McSee.
He had on. He was quite festive.
Tell me about it. Tell me about his wardrobe.
He had on a pair of American flag overall shorts. No shirt.
All right, Lance.
He was having a good old time. They had pretty good seats too. I went down there and talked to him for a minute.
Had he consumed some adult beverages at this time?
I think we all have. There's videos.
So I got a pretty funny story about that too. I'm just sitting there enjoying, what was that, Friday evening or Saturday evening?
Yeah, Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah. So I'm sitting there enjoying my Saturday night. That's right, because I wasn't at work. I'm sitting there enjoying my Saturday night. You send me a picture followed by a text message right behind it said, "I may have drank too much."
Yeah.
And then what the funniest part is Mary Beth texts right behind you. He definitely did. This is MB.
Yeah, he definitely had a little bit too much fun.
Well, when you don't hardly drink, you know what I
No,
mean?
it don't take
And so,
long.
yeah,
It don't take much.
when you don't hardly drink, that happens.
That's the first time I've been to a concert and tied one on like that. Because normally I end up the driver or whatever, and
Right.
Mary Beth was driving. And the parking lot party beforehand, you got to take it all in.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. You guys did it up. So how was the show that Corey Smith put on?
Okay, so this is the third time I've seen him. The first time I saw him was in a little bar, and Brantley Gilbert opened for him.
Oh, wow.
And that was a pretty good little show. It was just an acoustic show. The second time I saw him uh, was at the Tabernacle with a full band. I mean, like a huge band.
Wow.
That was pretty fun. This show was just him, a bassist and a drummer, and it
Okay.
was a pretty good show. I think it took him a little bit to get into it. There was a
Okay.
couple songs he didn't play that we was hoping he would play, but he's got such a big. Excuse me. I just consumed a hamburger right before we got on. Yeah, it was a good show. I'd go back if he was playing there again this weekend. I'd go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
How, was it at the Fayetteville Amphitheater?
yeah, that's the first time I've ever been there. That's a neat little place.
It is a neat little place. I've played there before. I played a Battle of the Bands way back in the day there.
That's a big stage.
It's huge.
I mean, for like the size of the amphitheater to the stage ratio is huge.
Huge, man. It blew me away.
Yeah,
And it like elite, I guess they just make it big enough for whatever kind of performances to be able to
yeah,
come down there. Um, but like
yeah,
when you're a 3 or 4 piece band, like I
yeah.
was and like Corey Smith was, it's hard to fill up that stage.
Well, they had like the bassist over here and the drummer was way over here. I'm like, man, y'all can tighten up a little bit. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
That's how I like to play. I like to play a little close knit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But I mean, it was a good show. I'd go back. Then Sunday,
Mm.
we got up and I decided to take a night off and recover.
Heck yeah.
So we recovered with a road trip to Macon and we went to the big house.
Dude, that is a big deal. The big house, brother.
The big
Now,
house.
for our listeners who don't know, that's where the Allman Brothers grew up, correct? Or is that
No,
where?
this is where they lived once they moved to Macon.
Okay, once they moved to, yeah, because they grew up technically in
Daytona.
Daytona. Oh, was it
Yep.
Daytona?
Yep.
Oh, wow, wow. I didn't think it was Daytona.
Yeah, it was Daytona. I
Oh,
watched the thing last night.
I'm sure you did.
I needed some more Allman Brothers history. But,
Yeah, so this is where the Allman Brothers lived, and they've made it into a museum now about the Allman Brothers, correct? I mean, obviously, tell us about it, Chucker.
yeah,
You
so
went there.
you start out in the practice room. That's where the first display is,
Really?
and
Like
it's
where
got
they practiced?
yeah, and it's got a big mural from Fillmore East. They were the last people to ever play the Fillmore in New York before they closed it.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they pretty much set out that album and set list in that room, getting ready to go up there. So that's a big deal for that place. So this is
Yeah.
where Dwayne was living when the motorcycle wreck happened. It's where Barry Oakley was living when the motorcycle wreck happened.
Hmm.
Greg only lived there like for 10 months. It wasn't long at all that Greg lived there. And then when he was married to Cher, they got an apartment down the street.
He moved out. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, but all the kids, I had a friend that I worked with. He was actually he was a UPSer for a while. He grew up in that neighborhood in the 70s.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And I've had two friends, so it kind of confirms the story. They grew up in that neck of the woods,
Mm-hmm.
but he grew up really close, like a couple houses down.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just those guys that lived over there, and he played with their kids. There's just the Allman
No
Brothers.
way. He
Yeah,
was
he
like
played with the
playing
kids.
with the
Yeah,
Allman Brothers' children.
yes, the kids that were in the house, he was playing with them. You know,
Did they ever hear the music or anything like that?
yeah, he's a huge Brothers fan.
No, 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 no. I mean, like coming from their house. Like, could
Yeah,
he hear them practicing and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Part of one of the stories goes that the while they were in Macon, the record producer was walking down the street and heard them play, and they were in the studio the next day at Capricorn.
No way.
That's one of the stories of how it's like get them in here.
I
But
mean, the guys had magic, right? There was a magic to their sound that you
they're
can't duplicate, you can't replicate no matter what you do.
no, you can't. I really don't know how they kept going without Dwayne
Yeah.
because that sound was so. His sound is so original, but at the same time, he evidently taught him well while he was here.
Yeah.
You know,
Evidently.
I fell asleep last night
Evidently.
watching a concert from 1982 on YouTube.
Dude, can you imagine seeing them in concert?
Dad has.
Oh, more than
At,
once or just one time?
I saw him one time at the Macon Coliseum. So
Oh,
he saw a home game basically.
yeah, yeah. They were
Yeah,
playing for the home field.
playing for the home field in the 70s. In Macon. It had to be a great concert.
That's incredible, man. What a space that would be in. Now, you sent me a text. You sent me a text message while you were in there, talking about you wished I could feel what it was like in there. Tell me, like we've talked about this on the podcast before, where like I tend to think that these places like Gettysburg or some of these solemn places, there's some sort of consciousness in the air and like in the matter around it, like
Well,
in the trees and the grass. Tell me about this house where the Allman Brothers developed their sound essentially.
it's weird. In the parking lot, you're like, oh, this is cool, but when you walk in the front door, you just it comes over you. I mean,
Mm.
it don't hurt that they got music playing in there,
Yeah, sure.
but knowing that music was 90% chance that song you're hearing was developed right there in that living room. I saw one
Absolutely.
of Greg's notebook. They got one of Greg's notebooks in there.
No way.
Yeah, I can't
So like,
remember what song it was,
oh, so it
but
was where he had written out a song.
he'd written out a song.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I feel like there will be a warmth or like this,
It was,
I don't
man.
know, something on that stuff, you know?
Yeah, there was a poster. People say back, could you go if you could go to any concert in the world, travel back in time, go to any concert.
Sure.
I think I found it.
What would it be?
They played Watkins Glen with
Oh,
625,000 people in attendance.
what?
The largest up until the 80s, the largest concert ever held in the United States. 625,000 people in attendance. The Grateful Dead and the band and the Allman Brothers.
Whoa. That is one that rivals 69 Woodstock.
They said it was better. When you go
That's
look
got,
up when you go look up information about it, they said it was better than Woodstock.
whoa, dude.
So it numbers wise, it beat Woodstock.
That's incredible. That's incredible. What a show. You're right. You're right. That one might
So
be it.
So the Dead would have had at that time. They would have had their big tower. The big
Mm-hmm.
speaker tower set up
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
Man, I can't. It's hard to fathom that, and and it was at a racetrack.
Yeah. Is that a racetrack?
That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So that's probably the like if somebody said what's one concert you could travel back in time to, I think that would have to be it. There's a Fender steel guitar pedal, you know, steel guitar in there
Yeah.
that I think Greg or Dwayne one bought it from Ronnie Van Zant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they were all struggling
Huh.
musically.
That's a pretty neat little piece of history right there,
Yeah,
though.
that was pretty neat because there's a lot of people. Well, I think we talked about it how Allman Brothers versus Skinner, but they were friends. They knew each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think there is. I think we talked about this too. There's not a. To me, there's not an Allman Brothers versus Skinner
No, I don't
because
think
they are
there.
both Southern rockers, but they are both spectrum. We talked about the Southern rock spectrum, and they're just so heavy, and the brothers are so bluesy
Mhm.
that it, you know,
Yeah,
there's
they
room
both
for.
had their own sounds. They were both so independent from each other.
Yeah,
Um, they just got classified together because of the because of the movement at the time, right?
yeah, and I think everything else in Southern rock falls in between them.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard too because Mary Beth didn't know as she knows the Allman Brothers, right? But
Uh-huh.
um, she don't know Government Mule. She don't know um, the trucks to I can't
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
bands that are it's one tree
Yeah,
of the Allman Brothers and it's different branches,
right,
and so they
right.
had a lot of their stuff in there too.
And you went to their graves.
Yeah, we went to the graves. Before we went to that though, so they got their bedrooms. They got Dwayne and I think Barry Oakley's bedrooms are how they were when they lived in the house.
No way.
Yeah,
Just kind of set up like that.
yeah.
Man, can
Now,
you
now,
imagine?
Greg's room don't have. They didn't have room as much of Greg's stuff there, but that's where they had that road case that had the Fillmore East
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
That when I walked in and saw that, that was so cool
yeah,
because
yeah.
you've seen it so many times.
Hmm.
Looking at that and to know that they just kind of threw that album cover together that it was downtown around the corner. It was actually the picture was taken in Macon, not at Fillmore,
Right.
and and Dwayne's hiding. I think it's Dwayne or Greg. One's hiding a joint, because they was like, oh, gotta take a picture. Okay, but yeah, it was cool seeing that. But yeah, we went to the graveyard to that cemetery, dude. Um, it's 4:30. That was my 4:30 alarm. That means you better get your butt ready for work. Um, sorry about that.
It's all
But
good.
anyway, is that my music playing?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it is.
I don't
I
have any
thought
music.
y'all. I thought y'all were playing
No.
it. But anyway, um, so you got this map, and it's got Little Martha's Grave, which is the name of one of their songs.
Hmm.
There's a couple other, and then you got in memory of Elizabeth Reed.
Yes.
So we visited that grave. We had the map. When we got out of the car to walk up to the brother's grave, um, we walked around and we're like, well, Mary Beth's like, pull that map out. Let's go find some of the other stuff.
Hmm.
Couldn't find the map.
Uh-oh.
Map is gone. All right. I checked my pockets.
You got lost in the graveyard, bro?
No, we didn't get lost in it. It's kind of hard to get lost in this one.
Oh,
I mean, it's
okay.
big, but dude, I figured they put it there because it's got to be some of the worst land in Macon. Like you couldn't fill this in to make industry on it, So they're like, just go put the graveyard on it. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
sent you that picture where it's just stepped,
Yeah.
and it just graves going forever.
I thought it was odd how it came down like that, how it stepped down like that.
And it's like that all the way around that hill.
Oh man.
You just go around. But anyway, so we go around, we ride around. We found the guy that was driving the Texas during the Great Locomotive Chase. We happened to find that grave.
Whoa.
But yeah. From the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's buried in Macon.
That's crazy.
Right?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Why is he buried in Macon?
He's buried in Macon, and it's right on the roadway because I'm like, oh, cool, that one's got a train on it. Back up. So we backed up and we looked at it and read the thing, and he's just buried there. That's where he was buried.
Did he just happen to die in Macon?
I guess. But that was originally designed in 1840 to be a park, and back then they had city parks and cemeteries were one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
So the layout of it's pretty neat. It did suffer a tornado damage in the 50s. So and digging graves killed some of the trees and all that was in it. But you go through there and they've got all these little plants that are marked, and the guy that designed it was a botanical gardener or something. So I'm sure those are original plants that he had put in there. Stuff like that. It's pretty neat. I would suggest going down there and just taking a tour.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were saying you thought Dickie Betts was buried there, but he's not.
No, it was a trucks. One of the trucks is buried there.
Okay.
Barry Oakley.
And both the brothers, right? Greg and Dwayne.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome,
and
man.
It's not like what you would think. It's not like going to Elvis. It's very modest. Another thing that's weird is all the pennies and stuff on the headstone and guitar picks at Elizabeth Reed's.
That's pretty sweet, man. That's pretty sweet.
And dude, there was a bunch of deadheads there.
At the big house?
At the big house, and then most of your old hippies had on their deadhead stuff. Which I found interesting.
There's probably more Grateful Dead merchandise out there than Allman Brothers merchandise.
Yeah.
That's not something you see a whole lot of.
No, it's not. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I used to have a few friends that was wearing Allman Brothers shirts all the time at school.
Yeah.
But I think the Brothers are a better band.
I do too.
Musically, they're better.
I celebrate their catalog way more than the Dead.
The Dead, you got to get in a certain mindset, dude.
Yeah, and that's one we can't get in on.
You got to get in it, and it's very hard to get into.
It's the best. That's the best way to enjoy the Grateful Dead, though, is getting in the mind, getting in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, you can get into the Brothers without having to get into the mindset. I'm sure it helps.
Yeah.
But dude, they did so many shrooms. This was not at the big house. This was because Mary Beth asked, why do they got the shrooms in their logo? So I looked it up, and they did so many shrooms that they all got it tattooed on their thighs. That mushroom logo and made it the band logo.
No way.
Yeah.
So they loved mushrooms.
They loved them. They have a room. they have a room up there that's their room. You know what I'm saying? The room. They got a
The
room.
room.
The room upstairs is still the way it was when they'd go up there and
No,
relax.
I figured they would have cleaned it all out and
I think it got put back together. Is basically
is there empty Jack Daniels bottles laying on the
no. I mean,
floor?
no. It's clean. It's clean,
Okay.
um, but it's furnished how it was furnished back when when it was the room.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They have a seven-headed shower. You know,
Because why not?
why not? Bunch of hippies.
I bet it feels great when you're on shrooms.
I bet it does because it's stacked. You know, I mean, it's like a whole
Oh.
shower of. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Oh, and then we ate mellow mushroom pizza to round out the day.
The perfect cap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I saw Mary Beth. She's like, "Where do you want to?" I said, "I don't care. You pick it. I'm riding with you." So she goes. She pulls in the mellow mushroom. And she's like, "I think this will be the perfect way to end the day." I was like, "Okay."
I think so too. Mellow
So,
mushroom is some amazing pizza, man.
you know, it wasn't bad.
Never
It
is.
wasn't bad
I've
for a
never had
chain
a
pizza.
bad experience there.
For a chain pizza, I didn't see enough stoners back there making pizza. I was kind of concerned when I first walked in because
They try
stoners
to
make,
confuse
huh?
they try to confuse you there at Mellow Mushroom by giving all their waiters and waitresses tie-dye shirts. So they
Yeah,
try to make you they try to confuse you, make you think they're all stoners, but they
yeah,
ain't.
they ain't. There wasn't that many stoners.
Yeah.
They didn't any of them seem like they were stoners.
Oh man, I'm glad you had an awesome time at the big house. I'm super jealous. I told Catherine I'm going to be planning a day trip soon, and I'm going to the Macon Mounds and I'm going to the big house in one
Dude,
trip.
you gotta go to the cemetery too
Oh yeah, we'll
because
do that.
you can probably do the house in about an hour,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and you can do the cemetery if you just do the Allman Brothers stuff. Do.
Mhm.
You could do that in 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. All I'm interested in is the Allman Brothers
and
stuff.
and you just go from the big house over a couple blocks over from 41 over to Riverside Drive,
Hmm.
and then from Riverside Drive, I think you can take Riverside Drive almost all the way to the mountains.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
So you would go,
Big house first.
yeah, you go big, either go down because you want to be outside and work your way back up, but you need the map at the big house.
Sure.
But you could go, so you go down Riverside Drive, you go under the interstate, and then you got to get on 80 and go down to the mountains.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, man. I gotta plan a trip because when you were sending me some pictures of that stuff, I was like I spent I don't know, probably 10 minutes studying the background of some of the pictures you sent me. You know what I mean? Just trying to see what all is in the background too, because there's just you never
Well,
know, man. They got the coolest stuff there.
I was sitting here looking. I hadn't sent you many pictures.
No, you
So
sent me the Fillmore and you sent me the graveyard picture and stuff like that.
maybe I should send you.
Yeah, whatever you send me right now, I'll put it up on the screen for our listeners to see it if you're
So
watching on the
here's
YouTube. Or,
this is
or
Blue
hey,
Sky.
we have video podcast on Spotify. I've been meaning to tell our
Oh,
listeners
cool.
that if you're listening on Spotify, you can watch the video along with us.
All right.
Just to let you know.
So I sent you these four pictures.
All right, cool.
The Les Paul that is on the left is Dwayne's first Les Paul.
Man, that's a
All right.
Gibson. That's not a Les Paul.
It's a Les Paul Junior, is what it was.
Oh, is that what? Yeah, it's a Les Paul Jr. Okay, yeah, he's got the double cutout. Yeah, that's neat. That's a
Then
really neat.
that is the handwritten lyrics. I don't know if that's a copy or not, but that's the handwritten lyrics to Blue Sky.
My gosh.
And then that's that Grateful Dead. So that's a
Oh,
different one. That had the Outlaws at it.
Yes.
But it's
Thanksgiving
also
weekend in Florida.
yeah.
Oh, dude. The Allman Brothers and the Marshall Tucker Band.
Yeah. So the reason I took the picture of that one is if you notice the date.
26th of September.
That's my birthday. I want
That
that
is.
poster.
That is.
I want to find that poster.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Man, that would be I am a big Marshall Tucker band fan. Those guys are phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are awesome pictures, man. Thank you.
Let's see. I feel like I'm missing one.
No, that was good.
This is what it looks like from the street.
That's the big house, buddy.
Just a normal house.
That's the big house.
But let's shoot, man. Let's take an ad break and get a quick recap of your weekend.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. We'll fly through the rest of this, right?
Yeah, I hope that this works out with the playing in the background, that it don't get squashed nowhere.
Nah, it won't. I can barely hear it.
Okay.
So we should be fine.
Do you need to smoke or anything?
I want to, but I think I'll be all right.
All right. I've already got my work clothes on. I was fixing to put my boots on when you sent the link.
So
I'm gonna swap out this Zen and we can just roll right into it. You had George Strait on there. Why was George Strait on there?
Oh, and I should have brought it up because we talked so much about the Allman Brothers attendance. It was being the largest. George Strait set the record attendance with over 100,000 inside of a stadium or something.
Have you seen that clip of that guy getting all pissed off at Pat McAfee?
No.
Yeah, he like charged him on his show.
Who was it?
I don't know. But he got tired of Pat McAfee's mouth and was like, charged him.
Some guest?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then, okay. Let's bring it back in.
All right.
Well, this show hadn't been quite as funny as some of our other ones.
No, not so much.
What we need, John, is we need a listener, a volunteer listener, to chop up some of our shows into clips that we can put on TikTok.
That'd be great.
Take some of the work off of us. Be a semi-professional podcast producer, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. Take all the clips you want out of our show. We don't care.
Maybe even run a Last Night's Coffee with Chuck and John TikTok page.
Hey,
heck, I'll put you in as administrator on the Facebook page too, if you want to be. So if there's anybody interested, like one of John's brother-in-laws that listens to the show a lot, you could be a part of the show.
That's right.
You can give you a shout out from time to time.
All the time.
All the time. We've always got people submitting memes and stuff, and
that's right. We like to engage with our listeners, and if one of our listeners would like to engage with us, that'd be great.
Help us out. Help us grow the show. We don't want to work out in this heat anymore.
No. Had enough of it, man. Had enough of it.
And we got a number in mind that we need to get to where we can do this full time.
That's right.
And we are a long way from it.
Yeah. Yeah, got a ways to go. But episode 150, man, we got to shout out the OG listeners and the new listeners. Thank you.
If you've been
all
here
of,
since day one, you've been through it, dude.
There are some people who have listened to all 150 episodes.
I'm sorry. I've had people come up to me that's listened to this, gone back in the back catalog and listen there like, I didn't know you were such a big Southern rock fan. I'm like, aren't you? Like,
isn't everybody?
I thought everybody was Southern rock fans. I guess that's like, I listen to everything.
Yeah.
But I think if somebody said, what's your favorite music? It'd have to be Southern rock, right?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, what do you enjoy more than that?
Southern rock.
What do you enjoy more than Southern rock?
Nothing really. Like if I don't have anything, if I want to listen to music and I can't find nothing to listen to, I usually pull up Chuck's Southern Rock playlist on Spotify that I made for the show that time. And I just
let it work its magic.
Yeah, just let it work its magic, and then I'm like, okay, good, I'm ready to go listen to something else now. Because I curated that for our listeners.
That's right. That's right.
So so they can see where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get that journey of where it began and where it went. And there's actually 4 people that follow that list.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know who they are.
I don't know, but they're listening to your list, buddy. They're listening to your Southern Rock playlist.
I hope they get the same thing out of it I get, you know? But yeah. Tell us about your sermon. Did you knock them dead?
Oh, not much to talk about there. Do what?
Okay. Did you knock them dead?
Didn't knock them dead.
Did anybody get up and walk out during your sermon?
No one got up and walked out, except for my own kids to go to the bathroom.
Well, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
They're preachers' kids. They have to act like that
now.
No.
They are not preachers' kids. They are not preachers' kids. I am not a preacher. I do enjoy it. I enjoy like the teaching aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's about it. Like I had to preach the entire chapter of 1 Corinthians 3, which was not the plan, but it's what I wound up doing.
Did you have to read the whole thing?
I always do. I always read the entire passage before I start putting any of my interjections in.
Okay.
I read the whole passage.
Do you use PowerPoint?
No.
Oh, so there's...
You got to follow along in the Bible.
Oh, okay. You don't have illustrations?
No.
Oh. We got to work on that.
No illustrations, man. Just the word.
Look, man.
Just the word.
If you're going to be like Eli Gemstone and, you know...
I'm not trying to be like him necessarily. Throwing that out there.
No, but I'm glad you're doing that, man. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I want to know about Six Flags. Did y'all go to the Monster Plantation?
Of course, we went to the Monster Mansion.
Plantation, but go ahead.
It was actually, it was Leah's favorite ride that we went on the whole time. She begged and begged and begged to go on it again.
Okay.
She cannot wait to go on it. She doesn't want to go on any of the other rides, really. That's the only one she's looking forward to going back for.
I thought she wanted to ride a roller coaster this summer.
Oh, so it was Lana's deal. Like,
okay.
We asked all of the kids, what's the one thing you want to do this summer? And Leah's, the youngest, was have a sleepover. So she got to have a sleepover. That was an easy one, right? Liam's, the oldest, he wanted to go swimming all the time. He's going swimming all the time. No problem. Lana's was that she wanted to ride a roller coaster. And so we made that happen.
Well, I'm glad. What roller coaster was her first roller coaster?
Her first roller coaster she ever went on, the best roller coaster at Six Flags Over Georgia, the Mindbender.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best roller coaster in the world.
It's the best roller coaster at Six Flags Over Georgia for sure.
It gives you enough of the old and enough of the new, and it blends. Because the cars feel. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't
No,
mean to talk over you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. She was terrified.
I bet.
She was terrified. Like Lana, I took Leah on it. I made Leah go on it because she met the height requirement.
Oh,
so I just like sat her down next to me. I said, "You hang on to my arm." She's never been on a roller coaster either. She's 6. You know, what I mean? She's 3 years younger than Lana. Right. And she was terrified. Every loop, she's staring straight down. Like, I was like, Leah, you got to look up. You got to try to watch and enjoy. I said, put your head all the way back on the seat. I said, this will help. Nah, man. She was crying the whole ride. She didn't want any part of it. We pulled to that hard stop at the end of the Mindbender, right? I looked back because Lana and Liam were sitting right behind me. I look back, Lana, I can't even see her lips. They are ghost white. All of the blood has left this girl's head. she is ghost white. She was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. It's like one of the best reactions you can have, right? Like, that's what you want a roller coaster to do. You want it to be like that borderline, I'm scared out of my mind, and I'm thrilled to be on this thing.
They are designed to make you think you're going to die.
Yeah, that's what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
And they can, and some of them do a pretty good job of convincing you.
So what else did y'all ride? Did she ride any more roller coasters after that?
She did ride some more roller coasters. Yeah, she rode the Flash.
The Flash, what's that?
It's like a little mini coaster they have now. It's for smaller kids, so it's mini, but it's super fast. It's got a pretty small track, no loops or nothing like that.
So
they have. There's like this whole section now where they've got it's like the DC superheroes, and they've got like this little miniature Mindbender that they call the Joker. They've got like Harley Quinn something or other. We wound up doing the Poison Ivy, which was kind of like the teacups, or the, you know what I mean? You get in a bucket and there's 2 of them that spin right next to each other, and they kind of interlock or intertwine like gears, and you think you're going to hit each other all the time. World. Yeah, that type of thing. It was great. We did that. I tell you what, man, me and Liam, the girls were not tall enough, but me and Liam went on the Goliath. I got to be honest, man, that is an awesome ride.
Did you black out?
I came this close, dude.
The tunnel come in?
Man, exactly. Do you remember in Top Gun Maverick? Like when they were trying to, in that scene where they're like trying to pull up and they're having to do that thing to keep the blood in there? It was exactly like that. Like my vision was just, like we barely came out of the curve in time, where I was like, oh, praise God, I didn't go out. I didn't go all the way out. I was so close, Chucker. They had me so close. I've been on the ride before, but I've never experienced that G-force blackout before.
Yeah, that's a great roller coaster.
It's a great coaster, man. It's so terrifying at the top.
Yeah, you can see everything.
You can see everything. You see for miles.
Ride it at night. Since y'all got season passes, right?
Yes.
Ride it at night. It's a different animal.
Oh, we will.
It's it's cooler, so you're not as hot, of course, but
right.
And you'll be with the season passes. You'll get to where you're not there. You're not as terrified going up the hill.
Sure. You get a little more used to it,
and you'll never get used to that first drop though.
That first drop on Goliath is hardcore, dude.
It's 200 feet.
And those loops on Mindbender, I don't think I'll ever get over those either.
Here's your homework. You got to ride Mountain Bender with your hands up the whole time.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times.
Okay.
I've been doing that since I was 16 or 12.
The kids got to do it. The kids got to do it. You got to have a no hand rule.
Liam had his hands up the whole time on the Mindbender.
Okay.
He had his hands up the whole time on the Scorcher. Me and him rode the Georgia Scorcher.
It's so rough.
It's a rough ride.
So the first time I rode it, the seat locked taller than I needed it to be.
Oh, so your feet weren't touching.
my feet wasn't touching.
Oh,
Yeah, so after that I was like, I'm not riding that one anymore.
yeah.
That hurt.
We
You're like
we
you had
all
trouble.
rode the Scream Machine together, which was really cool.
The Scream Machine, did it beat you up? Was it rough today? It was
Of
hot,
course.
so it's probably rough.
It was rough today. It was
You,
rough today.
you'll
Catherine
notice.
and Leah sat together in the very back car and they cried the whole time.
I can imagine.
They cried. They both cried. Catherine hates roller coasters, and Leah she was not digging the roller coasters. Like she figured out when we went on the mine train, and that was a little too much for her. I was like, she's gonna hate the Scream Machine, but we're taking her on it anyway.
Yeah. And one thing, it's either going to click while she's not there, and she's going to be like, "I've got to ride those roller coasters again,"
Yeah,
or she's not going to ride roller coasters. Like
exactly.
it's like eating oysters.
Yeah,
Um, you either do it or you don't. But
sure.
I've never met anybody that was halfway in between. It's like, I'll take a roller coaster. All
Right.
right.
Yeah, that's not typical.
It's like I love roller coasters or I hate them. I love
Yeah.
them. The ones I can, I have a size limitation on a
Hmm.
lot of them, and uh, yeah, so that sucks. But I have not got on a roller coaster that I said I'm never getting back on that, except maybe I would probably get on the Scorcher again, but
Uh,
it's not because
why
I'm
were your
scared.
feet touching? It's just like a weight thing.
I don't. It was the first or second summer it was open, and
Uh,
whatever reason, my feet wasn't touching when it locked. I don't know if that post was stuck or what, and I didn't know what I was getting into.
they tell you over the loudspeaker, they're like, "Hey, this is a standing ride. Make sure your feet are touching."
Oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't really like the Superman. I'll ride it, but I don't really like it.
Yeah, we did not hit Superman or the Batman today. We
Well,
will
you got
get
to
to
save
those next
something.
time. Yeah.
You'll notice too at night when it cools off, like if you go back for Fright Fest or Christmas time,
Hmm.
that the Scream Machine's a different ride.
Really?
Yeah, it's slower.
Hmm.
It's slower and it's not quite as rough when it's cold. But
Interesting.
man, on a day like today, golly,
Dude, that thing was out of control
you could
today.
you could probably smell it walking up to it.
I got Lana. You know those there's like two sets of small hills
Yeah,
there at the end of the ride. It's maybe a double hill on both of them, I think. I
yeah,
finally got her to raise her hands on those two small double hills there at the end.
yeah.
And she loved it, man. She loved it. We
Did
did the
you?
log jamboree. That was
Okay,
cool.
cool off
They
a
had
little
that
bit.
one open.
Did you ride Goliath with your hands up?
Yeah, most of the time, not the whole
Okay,
time. Like there were a couple of times I was like, dude, this is
that's a
freaking.
tough one to make it through with your hands up the
Yeah.
whole time.
So on that curve, when I started to black out, I was like, I grabbed the things instinctively, like right in front of you, the little handles.
Yeah,
I just kind of when my vision started closing in, I think I just instinctively grabbed back hold of
you just
them.
got to
You
go
know?
with it. The best picture I've ever seen is Sierra sitting there going, because she
Yep.
passed out right there through the through the camera.
That's why they put it there, man. They get people
Yeah,
all the time.
and Mary Beth only wrote it once, and Dad's only wrote it once, but it happened to be at the same time. So Dad laughed the whole time at Mary Beth, and I laughed the whole time at Dad laughing at Mary Beth. So that was fun. But
We saw so many conflicts between people while we were there. That was
really,
like between their own groups, like in their own groups, like
they
the
were
people they
fussing in the
came with, they
groups.
were fighting with. Yeah.
Oh,
Like these two sisters just would not stop cussing each other out. Like right when we're trying to get on the mind bender, and they're like, there's two sisters here and two sisters here, and they're all fighting each other. And I'm just like, this is
that's
ridiculous.
hilarious.
Like, can y'all just shut up and enjoy the ride?
That's my 5 o'clock alarm. It's getting time to wind it down. I have a
Yep.
series
Got
of
to start landing
alarms.
this plane.
I got a series of alarms that I have to keep so I can keep going to work on time. But
I understand. Let's roll into this conspiracy corner, man. What's this interesting? You got more Six Flags questions?
Yes. Did y'all ride the train?
No, the train was closed today.
Oh, okay.
The mine train, Dahlonega, or the Dahlonega mine train? Yeah,
no,
the train was closed.
Oh, okay. Dude, you got to go ride the old cars, and you got to ride the carousel.
Yeah, I plan on doing all of it. They've got this cool looking Ferris wheel ride now, where it's like a single person Ferris wheel. It's called the Catwoman Whip or something like that. It's a smaller Ferris wheel, and you kind of hang in there like you would the Batman, and it's like it just sends you round and round, called the Catwoman's Whip.
That sounds terrifying.
Except you don't hinge, so it keeps you. Once you get to the top of the loop, you're upside down. No, it's just a loop over and over and over again.
I'm good. I can't do. I can do roller coasters all day long. I can't do roundy because I will throw you uppy, and it's bad. It's real bad. I mean, it's ugly. I take Dramamine before I go.
Do you really?
Yes, I went one day when it wasn't crowded, and I rode the Batman back to back 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else had to drive home.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. My equilibrium was messed up for a couple days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think for my 11th or 10th birthday, I went on the Mindbender like 10 times in a row. It was at night. You know what I'm saying?
So much fun.
Oh, it was the best, dude. It's my favorite ride there. Six Flags is great, man. They're holding it together. Yeah. They're kind of low on staff, of course. That's a pretty common theme anywhere you go nowadays, but they're holding it down up there, dude.
If the president is in town while you're at Six Flags, chances are you'll get to see Air Force One leave Dobbins.
Oh, that's true. I never even thought about that.
I happened to see Air Force One leave Dobbins one time, and that was pretty cool.
I bet, man. I bet.
So today's conspiracy corner. The term sports washing. Are you familiar with it?
Sports washing?
Sports washing.
I'm not familiar with that, no.
Sports washing, this is according to Wikipedia, is a term used to describe the practice of nations, individuals, groups, or corporations, or governments using sports to improve reputations tarnished by their wrongdoing.
Okay. So like when Russia cheated in the Sochi Olympics type of thing?
Yes. As a form of propaganda, sports washing can be accomplished through hosting sporting events, purchasing or sponsoring sporting teams, or participating in a sport. At the international level, it is believed that sports washing has been used to direct attention away from poor human rights records and corruption scandals.
So we got the Peaky Blinders in the sports world.
Pretty much. There's some are saying that, you know how we got all they're opening up so much sports gambling in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Is so people will focus on the sports and not what the government's doing. I don't know.
That's what they're thinking? That's the conspiracy?
That's the conspiracy. That's how I come to this conspiracy, because I heard people talking about the government's using sports gambling to get people to focus on sports and fantasy this and fantasy that. All, everything's got a fantasy team. So while we're looking at that, they can go do what they want.
I've heard conspiracy theories before about the NFL and how it was invented to distract us.
Yeah.
I've heard that conspiracy theory before, but this idea of introducing sports betting, I don't think it's a government conspiracy because it's so addictive. Like, people get addicted to that without the government's involvement. That's something people want to do.
Right.
It's not necessarily to distract us, I wouldn't think. I think we're just...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Their thinking is the people that believe it's conspiracy believe the government's using that addiction property of it and
Sure.
making it easier to get a hold of, so people won't pay attention to what they're doing.
They don't tell us what they're doing anyway.
I know. I know.
Like they, they hide it all anyway. It's not like
Yep.
we're already distracted.
All right. And
what do you think? Do you like that conspiracy?
I think it's stupid. I honestly do. I think that is a stupid conspiracy that they think that they're actually doing that. I mean, I think, yeah, they'll bad companies sponsor stuff,
Sure.
but I don't think, and bad countries host stuff, but I don't think they're doing it to say, don't look over here.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah. I think when like countries do it during the Olympic Games and stuff like that, it's more to assert their dominance. Like Russia cheated so that they could be the most dominant country.
Yeah. Yeah. People, they host country, the host cities. You know, there's not World's Fairs anymore.
Right.
So they host these things. They host the Olympics to kind of show off their technology
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And every country out there is violating human rights every day. I mean, daggum,
Every
the
day.
United States, uh, we could have ended poverty in the United States if for the amount of money they've given to Ukraine. Dude, the shoe just moved on the shoe rack. That's weird.
That is weird.
Dude,
Are the armadillos coming back?
it could be the armadillos. But here's the meme.
Okay, send it on over here. Why I didn't text you back. I was asleep. I was driving. I was ignoring you. I forgot. I saw your text and told myself that I was going to respond, but I wanted to finish what I was doing first. After that, I got sidetracked and went to do something else and completely forgot your text even existed because I was stuck in my own tiny world until I went to text you days or even weeks later about something completely unrelated. So true, man. So true. That's most text messages in my phone right now. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well,
I love
y'all,
those good relatable memes.
we appreciate y'all listening. It's episode 150 in the books. We're halfway to 300.
Yeah.
We're going to make it.
We're going to make it, man.
And if you want to edit, just reach out to me and John, and we'll get you set
right.
up with you'll be our social media guru.
Yeah, I'll send you all the media files you could want.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nightshifters. We appreciate you guys listening to all 150 of these episodes, man. Thanks for sticking in there, originals, and we appreciate you new listeners too.
Yep. See you, Nightshifters.
Later on.